According to film theorist Thomas LaMarre, there are two main types of composited images, closed and open, which contain cinematism and animatism. Closed compositing might include films such as Avatar, The Avengers, or Arrival, where the goal is for the composited layers to blend seamlessly, creating the illusion of a singular layer or image. LaMarre finds open compositing prevalent in anime, as the name suggests. Examples such as Castle in the Sky or A Silent Voice allow the viewers to see the layers sliding across each other, creating horizontal movement between layers and causing the viewers to affectively process the gaps in between. However, with films such as Neon Genesis, he introduces a subcategory, the superflat image. In this image, the layers are smushed back together, closing the gaps and removing the sense of separation between the elements, even though they remain visually distinct. He describes this effect as making the image diagrammatic. The lack of hierarchization of the layers makes the viewer scan the image, taking it in piece by piece, rather than focusing on a single point, with the rest of the image staying at your peripheral. This complex flatness can go even further though. In music video, where narrative can be let go for affect and information only, a new subcategory is born, the ultra-composited image. While very similar to superflat, the key difference is that while also de-hierarchized, the layers in an ultra-composited image resist diagrammatic reading by having little to no relation to one another. In order to demonstrate this concept, I will be using the music videos for How to Get Physical by Magdalena Bay, as well as Taman Shud by the Drones. I do recommend watching both of these music videos in full before continuing with this essay, so I have linked them below. Please feel free to pause, do that, and come back. In Taman Shud, the punk rock anthem uses visuals that portray the chaotic postmodern landscape of Australian politics through hectic, scrapbook-style visuals that overwhelm and disorient the viewer. Without pausing, try watching this scene. I don't give a fuck if you can't stop the bugs. I analyze if senses can't keep faults. I don't care about no Andrew Bolt or even Harold Holden's clear as mud. Now, you've probably had trouble seeing everything if you managed to see it all. In that phenomena is where ultracompositing lives. Quick side note, ultracompositing undoubtedly relies on shot duration to make this effect more potent, but I won't be going in depth on this as I feel there's not more explanation to be said about that. While superflat images work through the motion of the gaze across the screen in order to build a database structure, ultracomposited images rely on this concept's failure. The audience fails to connect the images, as even if they take in the overwhelming frame, it doesn't have a final product to reward you with. With Neon Genesis, when you see the planes, the city, the monster, the laser, you get a spectacular fight scene when you piece it all together. Here, however, you see the band on the raft, acrobats on jet skis, a sinking lifeboat, a warship battling a cruise ship, kraken, nuclear bombs, and you get confused. What's interesting about an image like this, though, is that instead of that alone creating the affect of the image, each layer itself has its own isolated bubble of affect. When your gaze flashes from the conservative journalist turning into a kraken, to the warship bombing an already overturned cruise liner, to the nuclear bombs on the horizon, you don't register them cohesively, but each with an individual theme and feeling, like walking through an art gallery, or, more relevant, like scrolling through the internet. Magdalena Bay's How to Get Physical illustrates this well. With a more aesthetic-centered approach to ultracompositing as opposed to the drone's information-based structure, it's slightly more cohesive, but just slightly. Like scrolling the internet, the themes and aesthetics of one clip or image do not relate to the next, or in this case, another in the frame. Do the clips from the Rolling Girls anime relate to the cardboard robots on the moon? Or does it relate to the birds hastily green-screened in? In Carol Vernallis' writings on music video, she often mentions how much more wild temporalities and aesthetics have become in recent media, even if only to retain attention. These videos use multiple temporalities in the same frame. A still image taking on time due to being next to sped-up dancers and some rolling vaporwave backgrounds. Time and space are no longer useful tools to measure videos like these. If you've ever scrolled mindlessly through social media, you're probably familiar with the nameless feeling that comes when you look up from your device, having just taken in an overload of disconnected information, snapping back into reality. I feel these music videos have a similar effect. It gives you too much, doesn't make any connections, and at the end you either uniquely process it or forget it entirely. Ultracompositing is a direct visualization of the rapid aesthetics of the post-internet world, uncaring for whether or not it leaves the audience behind, only trying to serve us more information and more style. As ridiculous as it sounds, compositing is no longer just stylization, but it is more video per video. Whether or not ultracompositing is as extreme as that gets, we'll just have to keep watching and find out. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.